or half that, or 200,000. Please describe the steps you would take as governor to ensure your citizens' rights are protected against a federal agency's apparent overreach and protect the production of our nation's food supply.
Well, first off, as governor, I would do everything in my power to push back against any kind of federal intrusion into the Klamath Basin area. You actually took me through the problem 12 years ago, 11 years ago. And it's a multifaceted one. I got the paper this morning and read it. And the headline was what your question is, and it says there's no right answers. I don't have a magic answer to the problem. I know that there's a lot more I have to study to know about it. I know the resolutions that we've talked about before, but I do know this. We can't afford to sacrifice people and jobs for the spotted owl. We cannot afford to sacrifice people and jobs for suckerfishes. They would not be my primary concern. I would put people and jobs and livelihood before the spotted owl and before the suckerfish. Now, that being said, I think there's some obligations we have to keep, but there's some answers, and this drought is making it harder. I don't have them all right now. I know how I'm going to get to them when I'm governor, and I will do everything I can to help the situation here, especially for the farmers.
Well, Bob, you mentioned the magic wand. I wish I had one. When it comes to this drought situation, we've had a longer than usual drought. It's drained many wells, depleted our water tables. Finally, there's a trickle of water coming, and it's not enough. And it's going to be barely adequate to kind of, do just not even a minimum. We have people, ranchers and farmers raising cattle, they need grass. And payments from the federal government are not going to get it done. So we've got to figure out how to work through this. I think, in the past, these types of issues have resorted to violence. That's absolutely not the way to go. And as governor, what I would be looking is really long-term. How do we make sure that we're building more resilience into our state when it comes to water, right? We know that, we were getting less precipitation. We're able to keep less snowpack in certain areas due to fires kind of wiping out some of our forest lands. In certain areas of Oregon, we have a lot of timber overgrowth. In fact, healthy acre of timber is supposed to have 250 trees-ish. In some cases, we have close to 1,000 trees on that acre, and it's really impacting our ecosystem. And so we've got to bring balance to that. We've got to implement and help our communities implement water-saving technology. So you're getting the same result with less water. And I think long-term is really the only way that we're going to be able to continue moving forward. And we've got to focus on that resilience piece. And so I'd be looking to local communities to help develop those solutions and really support and fund them adequately. Thank you.
Well, as a farmer myself, who spent years irrigating, it is fascinating to me the ignorance among our politicians about the need for water and acre feet and how many gallons that is. We're talking right now, I just did it, 17,424,000,000 gallons of water that they're gonna flush down the river. Why? Well, it's for fish or it's for California. If it doesn't make sense, it's politics. Running the water is not going to recover declining fish stocks. This is a government-caused problem. They are lying to you. They are saying that their climate change emergency constitutes your loss of your way of life and your culture. They've divided you between natives, culture and rights, and citizen culture and rights. There used to be more cooperation, more understanding. It's the government that's done that to you. It has to stop. And it stops by telling people the truth. If climate change is so real, then what have they done about it? They've been talking about it for 30 years. They haven't done anything because it's not real in the way that they're trying to make you believe it is. Look at the science. We have had late spring droughts, not winter drought. We should be storing water up high because I don't know if you guys know this, but water flows downhill. If you store it up high, you can release it all during the summer, and that water is at a cooler temperature, and you can control temperature, which actually helps fish. We have enough resources. What we lack is common sense and political will. I'm not here to divide anybody. I'm here to provide enough water for farmers, tribes, and fish, because there is. That is a fact. Thanks.
Not a fact, idiot. Not a fact.
So I think there's two sides to this coin. There's the one side where it's the negotiations. This has been a problem for over 100 years. They've been talking about this forever. That's the same article, all of this information back and forth. It's just this circle of people making deals and failing on the deals and nothing getting done, right? And that's because we have too many lobbyists involved, to be honest. The lobbyists are who people are listening to, not the actual people who are affected by the drought. We don't listen to them. We ignore them. And that's wrong. I think the other side of this is that we can leverage technology to solve this problem. Multiple different ways. One, we can capture more water at higher elevations, like others have said, for sure. Easy. Technology. It can be done. Another way that I've been proposing is we could put in a desalination plant along the coast, revitalize some of our coastal cities with new industries, and pipe in water to the inland areas that are affected by droughts. The fish win, the tribes win, everybody wins, the farmers win, right? We can leverage technology, we can solve this. It's the 21st century, let's get on with it. We don't need to keep fighting the same battles over and over again. Let's look at new, fresh ideas to solve the problem once and for all. Instead of reinventing the wheel here, let's just do something new. We can do it.